The current used car market is pretty messed up. You know it, I know it, the neighbor's dog knows it.
So I've set myself a challenge to not only buy, but to also fully finish building a project car for less than $3,000.
I bought this Miata for $2,000, and after sorting out all kinds of issues, I finally managed to get it street legal. But it's far from perfect, and I will not call this challenge a success until this car is perfect. So today, let's sort out all the remaining gremlins of this thing so we can finally start working on the visuals. There's a lot of work ahead of us, and as the king of procrastination, I of course saved the best for last: the timing belt. This car last had its timing belt replaced in 2012, 14 years ago, so this is long overdue. The timing belt connects the crank with both the intake and exhaust camshafts. It ensures that the valves open at the perfect timing to let fresh air and fuel into the cylinder and the exhaust gases back out. If this process does not happen at the perfect timing, it can cause catastrophic engine failure, and since this rubber belt is already pretty old, I'm not taking any chances. To replace the timing belt, we first need a way of getting to it. So I first need to remove a bunch of stuff that's currently totally in our way. So now the next step would be removing the valve cover, removing all of these old belts, and then we can already get to the timing belt, which sits behind this cover right here. The valve cover is extremely easy to remove. I simply need to undo a bunch of 10mm bolts, and of course, while we have everything apart, I'm also throwing in a fresh new valve cover gasket while we're at it. This will be our intake camshaft. You can see the intake manifold right here. So this is where the fresh air and fuel actually gets sucked into the engine. And this is our exhaust camshaft, which you can see by the exhaust manifold right here. And this right here is our timing belt we're trying to get to. On first sight, it does not look too bad, but after 14 years, you never know how brittle the rubber got. So I'm definitely replacing this ticking time bomb. Now for the not so fun part, I now need to loosen this crank bolt right here. These tend to be extremely tight, so I will need to put the car into first gear, which I'm gonna do now. First gear, pull the handbrake all the way. The only thing standing between me and the timing belt now is the tensioner and the idler pulley, which of course I'll replace too. Timing belt is out. Let's have a quick look at this thing. Now, as you can see, there's no like obvious signs that it's like bound to fail, I guess. There are no visible cracks or anything like that. I could have probably rocked this for quite a while, but I really didn't want to take the risk because I know I'm not going to keep the Miata forever, and when I let go of it, I want the next person to, well, not have catastrophic engine failure, so I guess we're doing this as a preventative measure. And yeah, even though this timing belt still looks quite okay. It doesn't look very minty fresh, but it still looks okay. I'm still very glad that we're replacing it. So let's start putting everything back together and throwing in some upgrades along the way. Whenever you're replacing a timing belt, it's a good idea to change out the water pump and the tensioners as well, since replacing them later down the line would mean having to take off the timing belt once again. So it's good we're doing this all in one go. Brand new water pump is in. Now let's put the new belt and the tensioner on and time this baby up so we can finally take it for a proper rip later in the video. Good that I'm checking over everything again because I'm actually one tooth off right here. Take it off again, put it back on. Woohoo! Guys, we have just timed an engine. Probably a little hard to pick up on camera, but there's a timing mark right here. It lines up with this mark right there. There's a mark right there. It lines up with the mark right there. And there's a mark on the crank which lines up with the top dead center position. So this should mean that we should be in time. I'm now going to tighten up the tensioner right here to put some proper tension on this belt. And we're going to turn it over by hand at least 2 times to make sure that none of the valves are actually hitting the piston. The purpose of this is to make sure that the timing marks actually still line up once we turn the crank 2 full rotations, because that will give us a good idea whether we're 1 tooth off with the timing belt or if everything's looking good. That's 2 full rotations. Let's see if all of the timing marks will still line up. And they sure do. We are perfectly in time. Everything's back on, the belt is on, the covers are on, the pulley is back on. Now the next step would be to put the valve cover back on. However, since I'm putting that much time and effort into the car, I feel like I cannot just put this valve cover back in the way this looks. So let's freshen this up a little bit and make this look pretty again. And before you leave a mean comment, yes, I know, you should hit the valve cover with a bit of primer before painting. And trust me when I say, I really wanted to, but sadly I didn't have any primer at hand, so I had to settle for multiple coats of the base coat. I think we're making some huge progress right here. And at this point, there's only one thing left to do, which would be putting everything back together in reverse order, which would include, of course, the valve cover with a new gasket, the intake, the radiator, putting a new thermostat in. And I was actually struggling quite a bit with one of the thermostat housing screws because it broke off during the disassembly. But we gotta get this done, we gotta push through, so we can finally crank this thing over. So as a quick recap, we've changed out the thermostat, we've changed out the water pump, we've changed out the timing belt and the tensioner and the idler pulley. I've also changed out the water pump belt. So now the only thing that's left to do is turn the key, pray that I timed this thing right, because if I did not time this thing right, it would cause a whole bunch of other problems I don't want to deal with right now. Please work. Yeah, boy! She seems to be running very, very good. The ticking is still back. I think that's just because she was sitting for quite a while now while I was changing out the timing belt, so that should settle. Let's let her warm up for a second and then bleed the coolant. There's one thing I gotta say, I am so freaking relieved that I finally changed out the timing belt, because honestly, even though I could have probably rocked the timing belt for quite a while, I'm still glad I replaced it anyways, because it was just a ticking time bomb and it was bound to fail eventually. And now that we got all of the technicalities out of the way, finally we can now start with the visuals. When I got the car, I was told that all of the rust had already been treated, which meant that both rear quarters were covered in this weird fiberglass Bondo, and my assumption was that new quarters had been welded in. In the next video, I want to finish off the Miata by giving it a fresh new paint job. So as the last measure of this video, I quickly want to sand down some spots here and there just to see how workable this stuff actually is and how much time I will need to assign to sanding this car smooth. Okay, it's looking pretty good so far. I gave this quarter a quick coat of paint just to see where there's still some high spots or low spots. And personally, I really don't know why they even bothered putting like this fiberglass Bondo on top, because I personally thought that the previous owner actually welded in a new quarter. But from what I can see right now, since I have already ground down all the way to the bare metal, there are actually no spot welds or anything like that. So I'm suspecting that maybe the previous owner used this fiberglass Bondo to fill up the rust holes in some way, shape or form, but it doesn't really matter. I don't see any rust or anything that should get me concerned. So let's keep pushing. I still need to finish the side skirts right here, because they're also completely covered in this fiberglass Bondo, which thankfully is pretty easy to sand down though. spots. There are no more high or low spots. It's smooth as a baby's butt. And I really cannot wait for this thing to finally be fully painted next week, which, well, I'm planning at least to do it next week. Sadly, I will not be able to finish the side skirts today because, once again, I really need to upload this video. So let's get back to the whiteboard and answer the most important question, which would be, how much money have we spent in total in today's video? First of all, we have replaced the timing belt, which cost me $48, including the tensioner and the idler pulley. Then there was the water pump, which was another $35. The belts and a new thermo switch were another $32. And the thermostat was another $19. Which brings us to a total of $150. And after adding that to our previously spent $2,621, we are at a total of $2,771. And I gotta say, budget is really getting tight at this point. We are still not there. We still need to figure out the visuals of the car because honestly, I cannot leave it looking like this. But I think we might just be able to pull this off and stay underneath $3,000 threshold, which I've set myself as a maximum to spend on this entire build, including the buying price of the car. So I guess there's only one way for you guys to find out, which would be hitting that subscribe button and that like button to not miss any future videos on the Miata build or on future builds like the Supra.